Japan is a land of ancient traditions, breathtaking landscapes, and a history rich with mystery. But hidden beneath its serene surface are tales so strange and unsettling that they've baffled even the most skeptical minds. Today, we uncover the most bizarre and terrifying mysteries from Japan. From unexplained disappearances to chilling urban legends, these stories will take you deep into the unknown. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about the land of the rising sun as we journey through its most enigmatic secrets. First on our list is the mysterious disappearance of Yoshioka, a university student who vanished without a trace while walking home late at night in 1998. Yoshi was a promising psychology major at a Tokyo university, known for her intelligence and kind demeanor. On the evening of October 12, she attended a late study session with friends at a cafe near her campus. Around 10:30 p.m., she decided to walk home, a route she had taken countless times before. Witnesses reported seeing her leave the cafe, her backpack slung over one shoulder. She was calm and composed, texting her roommate to say she'd be home in about 20 minutes. But Yoshi never arrived. The next morning, her roommate raised the alarm, and the police launched an immediate search. The timeline of events was meticulously reconstructed. Surveillance cameras captured Yoshi walking down a well-lit street near her apartment complex at 10:45 p.m. The footage showed her pausing briefly, as if startled by something off-camera, before continuing. Just 200 meters from her apartment, the trail went cold. Her phone was never found, and no additional CCTV footage provided any further clues. What made this case particularly eerie was the complete lack of physical evidence. No signs of a struggle, no discarded belongings, and no witnesses who could provide a solid lead. It was as if Yoshi had simply vanished into thin air. Theories about her disappearance range from the plausible to the fantastical. Some speculate that Yoshi was kidnapped by a stranger or someone she knew, perhaps lured into a car under false pretenses. Others suggest foul play, possibly linked to her studies on criminal psychology, which might have drawn the attention of dangerous individuals. Then there are the more supernatural explanations. Japan is a country steeped in folklore, and some believe Yoshi could have fallen victim to a yurei, a vengeful spirit said to haunt those who wander alone at night. Others point to tales of people being spirited away by mysterious forces, disappearing into another realm never to return. Despite extensive searches and countless hours dedicated to solving the case, Yoshioka remains missing. Her disappearance continues to haunt her family and perplex investigators, leaving behind a lingering question: how can someone simply vanish without a trace? Next, we travel to Himi Castle, one of Japan's most iconic landmarks, where the spirit of Okiku, a wronged servant, is said to haunt its grounds, counting dishes endlessly in search of justice. The legend of Okiku dates back to the 17th century, during the Edo period. Okiku was a beautiful and loyal servant in the household of a samurai named Suyama. According to the story, she was falsely accused of losing one of her master's precious plates. Despite her protests of innocence, Okiku was punished severely. The samurai, enraged by her supposed crime, threw her into a well to die, and it is said that her spirit became vengeful after her untimely death. The most famous part of the legend involves Okiku's ghost, who is believed to appear near the well where she was thrown. Her restless spirit is said to count the plates she once cared for, starting from one and continuing endlessly. The eerie sound of her counting, growing more frantic as she reaches 9, then returning to 1, is said to echo through the castle at night. Over the centuries, there have been numerous reported sightings of Okiku's ghost at Himi Castle. Visitors and staff alike have claimed to hear the unsettling sound of counting, followed by the anguished wail of a woman in distress. Some even report seeing a figure in a white kimono, her face obscured, wandering the castle grounds, her eyes filled with sorrow and rage. The legend of Okiku has been passed down through generations, and it's become deeply ingrained in the folklore of Himi Castle. But is it simply a tale to entertain and frighten, or is there a darker truth hidden beneath the surface? Some historians argue that the story of Okiku is rooted in real events. They point to the existence of a servant named Okiku who worked for the Aoyama family during the early 1600s. While historical records don't confirm the exact details of her death, it's possible that a woman in her position could have been accused of a crime and met a tragic end. Others, however, believe the ghost story is purely a creation of folklore, crafted to add an element of mystery to an already fascinating historical site. It's not uncommon for legends to arise around places of power, and Himi Castle, with its long history of battles, betrayals, and intrigue, is an ideal setting for such a tale. Regardless of its origins, the story of Okiku remains one of Japan's most enduring ghost legends. Whether folklore or based in reality, the ghost of Okiku continues to captivate the imagination of those who visit Himi Castle, forever bound to its walls by the unrelenting desire for justice. Next is, the Suyama Massacre is one of Japan's darkest moments, a crime spree in 1938 that left 30 people dead and countless questions unanswered. This horrific event took place in the small town of Suyama, located in the western part of Japan, and it remains one of the most chilling and baffling mass killings in the country's history. The perpetrator was a 21-year-old man named Mutsuo Toi, who, on the morning of May 21, 1938, went on a brutal killing spree that would shock the nation. Toi had been living in the town for several years, working as a farmer, and appeared to be a quiet, introverted individual. There were no clear signs that he harbored any violent tendencies, and yet, on that fateful day, he murdered 30 people, including family members, neighbors, and even strangers. Toi's attack began in his own home, where he killed his mother, father, and younger sister with a gun. He then moved through the town, targeting people at random. His method was horrifyingly methodical. He would approach his victims, often without warning, and shoot them at point-blank range. In some cases, he even mutilated the bodies before moving on to the next target. The killings lasted for several hours, and Toi eventually barricaded himself in a nearby mountain hut. The police arrived soon after and surrounded the area, but it was not until the following morning that they found his body. Toi had taken his own life, leaving behind no clear explanation for his actions. The motivations behind the massacre remain unclear to this day. Some speculate that Toi was driven by personal grievances, perhaps linked to his strained relationships with his family or a sense of social isolation. Others suggest that he may have been suffering from mental illness, though there is no definitive evidence to support this theory. What makes the Suyama Massacre even more unsettling is the eerie calmness with which Toi carried out his killings. There was no apparent rage or emotion in his actions, and he did not leave behind any letters or notes to explain his motives. His choice of victims seemed random, with no obvious connection between them. The aftermath of the massacre was equally chilling. The town of Suyama was left in shock, and the massacre became a national scandal. Despite extensive investigations, the police were unable to uncover any clear reason for Toi's actions. The case remains unsolved, with many questions still unanswered. One of the lingering mysteries surrounding the Suyama Massacre is why Toi chose to end his life after the killings. Some speculate that he may have felt remorse or fear of capture, while others believe that he was simply trying to escape the consequences of his actions. The fact that he left no clues behind has only fueled speculation and intrigue about his true motivations. To this day, the Suyama Massacre remains one of Japan's most haunting unsolved crimes, a dark chapter in the country's history that continues to captivate and unsettle those who seek to understand the mind of a killer. Finally, we arrive at Aokigahara, the infamous Sea of Trees, where unexplained deaths and disappearances have given rise to countless myths. This dense forest, located at the base of Mount Fuji, has long been shrouded in mystery and is often associated with tragedy and the unexplained. Aokigahara has earned a chilling reputation as a place where many have chosen to end their lives. Over the years, it has become one of the most well-known suicide hotspots in the world, with hundreds of bodies discovered within its depths. The forest's thick canopy of trees, which blocks out much of the sunlight, creates an eerie atmosphere, and the silence within is often described as unnatural. It's as though the forest itself absorbs sound, leaving a heavy, unsettling stillness. The first reports of suicides in Aokigahara date back to the 1950s, but the forest's dark reputation has only grown over time. Every year, authorities are called to the forest to investigate disappearances, and many of these turn out to be cases of suicide. The sheer number of deaths has led to the forest being referred to as Japan's suicide forest, and the local government has even put up signs at the forest's entrances, urging people to reconsider their decisions and reach out for help. Despite the forest's association with death, there are other strange occurrences that have only deepened the mystery. Visitors have reported feeling a sense of unease, as though they are being watched or followed. Some claim to have seen figures in the distance, only for them to disappear when approached. Others have experienced disorienting sensations, like losing track of time or being unable to find their way out of the forest, even though they are walking along well-marked paths. Several theories attempt to explain the strange phenomena at Aokigahara, ranging from psychological to supernatural. One of the most common explanations is that the forest's isolation and dense trees create a sense of disorientation, making it easier for people to lose their bearings and become trapped. The forest's reputation as a suicide destination may also contribute to the psychological toll it takes on those who visit, leading to feelings of hopelessness or despair. However, there are those who believe that Aokigahara's mysteries go beyond the physical. The forest is located near Mount Fuji, a sacred site in Japanese culture, and some people speculate that the forest is haunted by spirits or yokai, supernatural beings that are said to reside in certain locations. According to local legends, the forest was once used as a place to abandon the elderly or those who were considered burdens on their families. These abandoned souls are thought to have lingered in the forest, creating an atmosphere of negative energy. Others suggest that Aokigahara is cursed, with an unseen force that draws people into its depths. The idea that the forest itself has a malevolent presence is a popular theory, one that has been fueled by the eerie accounts of those who have ventured into the woods and never returned. Despite the many theories, the true nature of Aokigahara remains a mystery. The combination of its tragic history, strange occurrences, and unsettling atmosphere continues to make it one of Japan's most enigmatic and haunting locations. Whether it is the result of natural phenomena, psychological factors, or something more sinister, Aokigahara will likely continue to be a place where the unexplained thrives, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and chilling stories. From vanishings to ghostly hauntings, these tales from Japan remind us that some questions may never be answered. Whether it's the eerie disappearance of Yoshioka, the restless spirit of Okiku at Himi Castle, the brutal Suyama Massacre, or the haunting deaths in Aokigahara Forest, Japan's history is filled with mysteries that continue to baffle and intrigue. Which of these mysteries do you think holds the most truth? Or is there something even stranger lurking in Japan's history, waiting to be uncovered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more creepy content. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more chilling stories from around the world.